Hello, this is Names of Goblin, and this is my web show. If you hear a light humming in the background, that is just my heater because it is literally 10 degrees outside and my room doesn't have very good heat protection, so the air just gets really, really cold really, really quickly. This is going to be a shorter web show, hopefully from the 2 to 5 minute range, because my voice is still a little tired from the 41-minute monstrosity I had made a couple days earlier. This web show is going to be basically about the new buyouts that have happened in the past few weeks, and whether or not you should start buying them or wait until they lower down in price. The first card we're going to talk about is Ugin's Eye. For those who don't know, it works very, very well with Urborg, Tomb of Yawgmoth. Its effect basically states that Eldrazi creature spells cost 2 less to cast. 2 colorless less to cast. It also has a secondary effect where you can sacrifice it and then add it to add an Eldrazi creature card of 7 or greater power to your hand. I do not think this card is going to go back down very much. The buyout seems kind of ridiculous, but it is getting so much modern hype that I don't think it's going to go back down anytime soon. I think this will bottom out at around $10 to $15 actually, just because the Eldrazi's are a really good deck now, especially with black and white. They just discovered apparently the combo between Urborg and Ugin's Eye. It also goes with Eldrazi Temple, but that goes without saying. With Ugin's Eye and Urborg, you're basically taking 3 instead of 2 off of any Eldrazi creature spell. And if it's a black Eldrazi, you're taking pretty much the entire thing out of it. You're just going to have to pay a couple colorless, which you could do with Eldrazi Temples. The next buyout is Eldrazi Temple. I think this will go back down for the only one reason. This was in a very, very oversold dual deck. The Eldrazi versus Zendikar dual deck was extremely oversold. So even stuff like Oblivion Sawyer would be around $4 to $5 foil. Oblivion Sawyer in itself is a very, very good card in my opinion. I love the card. I use it all the time in my Eldrazi deck. But the fact is, it's gotten sold so much. You can buy it online for $10. At least what I've seen. And it's not driving the price down that much. Or it's driving the price down a lot. If Eldrazi Temple was not in that dual deck, I think it would be a $10, $15 card. That being said, it being a $5 card is nothing lost here. I sold 15 of them that I had from different reasons, and I made a pretty good profit, so I'm happy. Ugin's Eye, I kind of the day I was going to get some, it spiked from $3 to $30. So, yeah, I think it's going to go down, but not very much because of how hyped it is in Modern. Especially with Modern Season coming up, the ban list coming out, Amulet Bloom, my favorite deck, looks like it might be a hit. I hope, beyond all hope, that it isn't, but it might be hit. There's a pretty good chance. It is a very, very good deck. Turn 4. They apparently don't like it, turn 4. So they're going to get rid of a card or 2. I don't know. I hope not. I hope if they have to ban anything, I hope they ban Tolaria West, because that's what makes it broken. It's not Amulet or Bloom. It's Tolaria West. Amulet and Bloom are good cards in it. But Tolaria West really slows it down. and makes it fair for other players. That's just my rant. You don't have to worry about that. I've seen a lot of other cards going up, especially with this black-white Eldrazi deck. That looks really, really good, to be honest. I'm surprised they haven't. Especially with Oath coming out. I think that with Oath coming out, it's going to be even better. Especially with that Coco equivalent. Just stuff like that. It's going to get very crazy very fast. And it might be a new thing. On the likeness of Affinity. I hope not, because I kind of like Affinity, and well, I think it really has no equal. It's the best Game 1 deck. Your Game 1 in Affinity, you really don't lose. It's really hard to lose Game 1 with Affinity. Out of that talk, though. From all the other cards, though, I do think it's going to go down once they realize that, yeah, the deck is going to be overplayed. I think that this deck is going to be hit by the ban list, not this time, but maybe somewhere in the middle of July-ish, when the one after Shadows over Innistrad comes out, when they realize that something like this is going to explode. They're buying it out almost as fast as they did, apparently, Pod. Which kind of surprised me because I love Pod. At least from what I've seen of old Magic the Gathering games of it. Which is weird. They were comparing Amulet Bloom to Pod. And it's nothing like it. Pod, the reason why Pod was banned, for those who don't know, is not because it was an overwhelmingly broken deck. It was because they had to make future sets that didn't cooperate with Pod. They didn't want to do that, so they just banned Pod. Pretty much. They broke the deck. If I'm wrong, be sure to tell me. But that's just what I've noticed. They didn't ban Pod because it was overwhelmingly broken, even though it kind of is. They banned Pod because they didn't want to worry about future sets being even, or syncing good with Pod. They didn't want to take Pod into consideration. They didn't want to take an entire deck into a situation and say, how will this set affect this deck? How will this set make this more broken? They didn't want to do that. So they banned it. They pretty much broke the deck. Amulet Bloom is nothing like that. It is a broken deck. But to compare it to Pod, no. You got it all wrong. This is Names the Goblin. I hope you liked my rambling. If you do, like, comment, and subscribe. I would really highly appreciate it. Otherwise, I'll see you later.